Our motto is the bringing the local community together, so that anything that we can think of that will do that, we're in for it.
People do enjoy making, and that's what's really special, I think, about the centre, because it's a nice space for creativity, for expression, and it's been really nice just being a part of the community.
To see all their work up in the windows, it was really sweet.
Two wonderful people here, David, who's a trustee, and Sue, his wife, but who have taken this concept of having a little display of art in Sumatra Road. Of course, I mustn't forget the contributors, all of you, who have been brave enough to put your artwork on display, amateurs and professionals alike. So thank you all very, very much indeed.
It was Martha who last year said, why don't we put some pictures up in the windows?
Being an artist, I wanted to find a way to help bring the community together. We didn't know everyone. There was a core nucleus, and I set up a name for us, and it was called Flow, Creating Community Through Art.
Martha asked for who wants to get involved, to put some picture on your windows. So I start art. I don't say if we can say art, but I try to do something.
It was quite a fun thing to do last year, like put up paintings every week.
Children were loving looking in the windows, and we all commented and responded to the work.
We didn't know anyone, to be honest, before the lockdown. There were very few people we knew on the street, and then we were part of this WhatsApp, which was this Flow, and it was really great to get to know people. It was a way of connecting.
So I would suggest certain themes which I felt would help with relaxation for everyone, which would help with focus.
And the manager there was saying she knew about what we'd been doing in Hackney, and we saw what had happened in Crouch End and Primrose Hill, and thought, well, we ought to have a go.
It's been really just making use of all the networks and their networks, and doing an exercise of trying to bring in as many people as possible.
Before COVID hit, there was a wonderful exhibition that took place in the hall that was really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mainly classes and talks and things like that, of course a lot of it's on Zoom at the moment.
Especially with art, when you teach art, the first thing you have to do, you have to create some sense of a safe space that people trust. They have to trust each other, they have to, because it's quite a private thing showing your work, you know.
And it was interesting, the whole range of different things that I hadn't expected to be there, like some people showing tapestries, some people showing mosaics, and people that I hadn't realised were doing art in some form, and there were things up in their windows that never seen the light of day before.
I met Sue and David during the lockdown on the clapping day, you know. And later on, they asked me if I would like to get involved in the project. And I thought it would be a really great opportunity for me to be in part of a local project.
It's quite exciting actually, because you don't know what else is out there, right? And you have to just be brave enough to put yourself out there, and it was a very personal project to me.
over lockdown, I started to do follow the Portrait Artist of the Week. So I've got portraits in oils of several well-known people. I put some sunflower seeds in during the summer, and they're giant sunflowers, and they grew really tall. So when you look at that window, you can see Jeff Goldblum peeping out through the sunflowers. I've had quite a few people remark on that.
I know that in particular I became fascinated by waves, and the mathematics of waves has informed and formed the basis of much of what I create. So when you see these artworks around here, they are actually solutions to wave equations, but I mean, hand-picked obviously by the artist. So because I write all the programs that generate these forms, which are based upon the elegance of waves, which, you know, are themselves some kind of a universal thing that we use in language, use it in music, and it's something very deep. The theme of Halloween fits in rather nicely with light art. Then I make a point of, instead of giving away sweets, I invite people in, and I'm sure over the years we've probably had the best part of 1,000 happy 1,000 people, hundreds of happy families flowing in and out of the house, and that's just my one little thing that I really enjoy doing. And we'll be doing it again one of these days, but not this year, because this year I happen to be going off to do a Halloween festival in Ireland.
What I like about foxes, well, I come from a different country, and it was really first in London that I encountered them. So for me it's still exciting to meet them, especially during the night. And then there's something very graphical about them, I find. They have this contrast between some really fine, delicate lines, shapes, but then there's always that roughness about them, particularly the ones in the city. The majority of them happened during the lockdown, and I was alone with them at home, but then people came over and I liked watching people interacting with them.
Because I do sketches when I'm on holiday. Most of the time I'm working for people. But as people ask me what I am, I would say an illustrator. That's what I primarily was, but I ended up writing and designing.
We've run the same class for like 10 years.
No longer. We started actually before they moved to the new building.
And we've got some of the people like Mark who've just been there since the beginning, and Sue.
Well, I've been going to the art class over the last few years, and I've got a lot out of it.
But we've also been teaching online.
It actually works quite well, and then people take a photograph of it and then we share it on WhatsApp so we can see, you know, what they've done, so we can see everybody's work. But there are drawbacks, obviously. You can't go around each person's work while they're making the work.
And just started with Andrea, who is amazing, and she has a sharp eyes, and the classmate and my classmates are so talented you cannot imagine, and there is a good vibes.
The reason I'm really grateful for the community centre is after my husband died, I knew I'd have to start being a little bit more outgoing because we'd worked so intensely in our world. And I met Sue briefly and she told me about photography, and it has given me a whole new circle of friends.
So unlike some photography groups, we're A, not highly technical, and B, we're supportive. We are critical, but we're critical in a supportive way. And I think those two things have helped keep a group that gets on very well and that produces really good work and likes to come every week, you know, and has done that for years.
We've got 5 people who are involved in teaching art, but because they live outside the area, we've had to find places to put it here. So we got Thou Art in Hampstead is hosting one, and the bookshop's hosting the photography tutor.
Yeah.
And then another one's at the other book, the new bookshop that's on West End Lane, another one at the Insight Opticians. The two that are heavily involved more with doing art things with children, they've both got outlets here as well.
So the painting's called The Warmth of Sunrise, and it's a watercolour painting, and I chose to include that because I did actually paint it at the centre, and that actually that day was a new day because we had spent a year not gathering with one another, so it really was like a new day and a new sunrise in the sense of reconnecting and seeing each other in person. And what was special about it was some of the children that came along, I had actually run Zoom sessions over lockdown. We used to do some art on Zoom and send out little art packs.
The picture that's in the West End Lane books as part of the art trail is a picture of an oak tree that I took in Golders Hill Park. One of my special interests in photography is taking photographs of trees, especially veteran trees and old trees. And they asked if they could have it for a bit longer because they really like it and they really thought it looked good in the window. So I've let them have it until next week when they're going to change their window display anyway.
A lot of people have really thanked us and said, well, this is really great. It's bringing the community together.